Hello and welcome to the Keep Six podcast. I'm Nate, and this is my lovely co-host Patch.
Sup?
Sup? So today we're going to be talking about how you know if you need a service dog, or if a service dog would be able to help you in particular. Over the next few podcasts, we are also going to be talking about owner training. We're going to be talking about how to choose your dog, how to choose your trainer. We're also going to be talking about program dogs and how to find a program and red flags that come with finding a program and choosing the right one for you, and that type of stuff. It's going to be interesting. I believe this is going to be a four podcast series. It's kind of like Service Dog 101, if you will. So let's go on into how do you know if you need a service dog. So the first thing that you need to be aware of is that in order to be eligible to have a service dog, you need to have a disability. And you may be wondering what counts as a disability. Well, Patch, what counts as a disability?
What counts as a disability
so many
is something...
things.
Well, yeah. I mean, if it, I can't think of the word.
I would help you, but I don't know where you're going.
Gets in the way of, only a fancier word for, stops you from being able to do something.
Intrudes? No.
Yeah. Well, something like that.
Intrudes on your data life. Hinders your data life. Disables your day-to-day life.
Yeah, if you can't do stuff because of it.
Here, just let me get my thesaurus. Going through all the words.
Basically, you caught me off guard. I was like,
I mean, I want you to talk too. It's not just me talking the entire time.
So if it hinders your day-to-day life and you can't do stuff, obviously I guess that's the definition of hinders, because of it, and I don't know if you want to go so far to be diagnosed, but generally for service dogs, they have diagnosed.
Yeah. You don't need one in the States.
You don't need one. Oh, we don't need one?
In the States, you don't need a diagnosis to have a service dog.
Well, look at that. The Canadian knows more than me.
What? I've been doing this a long time.
You should know. This is true. You've been doing this way longer than I have, and you do it for other people. I'm just my dog.
Yeah. There are certain situations in the States that you do need a diagnosis.
Doctor?
But
okay.
Yeah. But anyway, we will be covering the intricacies of the laws and stuff like that to the best of our knowledge in another podcast in the future. So we won't delve into that today. But yes. What is that noise?
It's like a clicking noise.
And it was like a thump, thump, thump.
Oh, Mabel's on the wheel. My mouse is running right now.
Today we are joined by Mabel the mouse.
Do you want me to take the wheel out?
I mean, if you could. I don't want to be mean to the mouse, but it's very
No,
loud.
I gotta... Oh, wait, she's getting off. I lied. She's staying on. Okay, what were we talking about?
Disability. So, what is a disability?
Yes.
So, by hinders day-to-day life, that that includes things like not being able to pick things up, not being able to leave your house without panicking, being blind, not being able to hear, that type of stuff. If you are unable to do things that able-bodied people are able to do, that counts as a disability. However, not all disabilities require a service dog. A service dog has to be able to perform tasks in order to mitigate your disability. Otherwise, it's not a service dog. And the tasks have to directly mitigate your disability. Wow, cannot talk today. Directly mitigate your disability. So, for example, I have severe anxiety as well as a whole bunch of other mental. I'm a disaster. Okay. A task where a dog picks something up and gives it to me would not count as a task for me because I am not disabled in that way. Well, we can't list all the tasks that all service dogs can perform because that would take forever. There's so many. Oh my goodness.
Ones you don't even think of. It's crazy.
Oh, it's crazy, yes. But we can give some examples like what we personally use or need.
Yes.
Do you want to give some examples of yours? If you're comfortable with that.
Oh, yeah, totally. So Auden, you, man. He looked at me.
You said my name.
Auden, right, now he's staring at me like, what do you want? So he has a few natural alerts that he does. So, like, he'll wake me up from nightmares. He will put himself in front of the door at night if I leave him out of the kennel and not let people come in because it freaks me out whenever people wake me up.
Are these natural alerts where, like, he did them and then you shaped them into a task?
Yes, we're working on shaping them.
Okay, yeah, because dogs that just do things naturally, that doesn't count as a task per se. It has to be a trained task. So while a dog might do things naturally, you need to shape it into a task.
Right.
Okay. Just thought I'd clarify that for our audience.
What else does he do? He helps me upstairs because I have, like, back issues, and there are days that I can't walk. He's not big enough to do mobility, but he does indeed, like,
he's big enough for momentum pull.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that is technically mobility.
Yeah.
No one ever will, like, tell me the difference between them, and they tell me, and it's all confusing, and I'm like, okay. He does do momentum as well. He doesn't do it often because he's only 14 months. Oh, he's so old. He's only 14 months old, so his growth plates and stuff aren't, like, fully.
Yeah.
Done.
He still needs time.
Yeah, but if I'm dissociating bad enough, I will have him do it just because it keeps me present, so I don't, like, walk in circles for hours.
I mean, same.
Yeah, right. He checks aisles for me and alerts me when people are coming. A lot of his tasks, like, I'm going to be honest, I'm really bad at task training. So a lot of his tasks are kind of like mediocre PA things so I don't freak out in public. Not mediocre, but, like, they're not, like, full tasks, I guess.
Those
because
still
I'm
count as
still
tasks.
learning.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
But...
I bounce my leg a lot when I'm nervous. He's been taught to alert me when I'm doing that. If I cover my face, he noses my hands so that I'm not covering my face because it's one of my, like, I'm panicking, I can't handle looking around things. What else does he do? He doesn't honestly do a ton right now. We're still learning. I'm a trick trainer, so
you're still working it out. That's fine.
We're still learning, and this is my first dog, so, like, we're trying.
And that's why it's interesting to have, like, you as the my co-host, because, like, it shows kind of both ends of the spectrum. People who are still learning, and I mean, I am still learning. Like, no one is ever done learning dog training, like, ever. If someone says that, you know, they know everything, they're lying.
They're lying so hard because they're gonna find a dog and be like, "What?"
Yeah, yeah. Well, some of the ones that I need, I would say a dog's name, but I've worked with many dogs. I don't have my own service dog at the moment, but so right now 9. I'm training her for someone else, but the tasks that I personally need are things like guiding, because when I disassociate, I walk around in circles. I can't find my way. I have no idea where I am. I get lost. It's awful.
Sounds awful.
Hit my mic again. Anxiety interruption or alert. So if I'm getting anxious, my dogs usually pick it up before I even notice, and they will let me know and be like, hey, you need to calm down. So anxiety alert blocking is probably one of my favorite tasks. You know those people that stand up your ass in line at the store?
The worst kind of person?
Yeah, I don't have that problem. But, I mean, that's not the point of the task. It's just nice to not have that problem. I need that personal space. Otherwise, I freak out. I can't stand people too close to me looking over my shoulder. I will freak out. Like, full-on panic attack. What else? There's a whole bunch.
I think of a couple, like, not weird, but a couple, like, ones people wouldn't think about.
Oh,
so, like, for me, audit, like, I hold my breath when why are they all, okay, like, if I'm anxious or just not paying attention, I won't breathe, which is really bad.
So breathing is important.
Yeah. So Auden is taught that when I gasp that he needs to, like, nose me because it means I'm not breathing, and I'll just sit there and gasp and not be able to breathe and not notice it, which also would help me if I'm ever having asthma attacks, because it'll be like, hey, so I'm going to teach him to get my inhaler as well.
Oh, that's a good idea.
My friend rocks back and forth whenever he's anxious, and his dog is taught to lay on his feet whenever he's doing that, because it's part of him, like, starting to dissociate. So man lays on him.
So other tasks that I can think about are like diabetic alert. So if your blood sugar is getting too high or too low, migraines, yes, seizures. Everyone knows about guide dogs for the blind, like. When people think service dog, that's what they think about. Yes, there are deaf dogs.
I don't know how. from what I know, alert to things like people knocking on, because Aud's gonna have a few of those tests, like alerting to people knocking on the door, or telling you, not alerting, but stuff like that.
Yeah, they alert to like people knocking on the door, to the phone ringing, even to people talking to you. Like say you have your back to someone and you're deaf, you can't hear them. The dog will be like, "Hey, someone's talking to you."
I did not know of this one. Yeah, that's neat.
That
Dogs are so cool,
right? Basically, if you have a disability and you can think of a way that a dog can be trained to directly mitigate that disability, that counts as a task. It doesn't have to be something that everybody uses, because that's the point of a service dog. They are trained for you to mitigate your disability.
Right.
So just because you have the same disability as someone does not mean that you have to have the same tasks, because everybody is different. Yeah. Everyone experiences their disability differently. So other things when asking if a service dog will help you or not is you have to think about your situation. So I can hear Nine crying in the other room. I put her in the kennel in the other room. She's not liking it. So yeah, you need to think about your situation. So like your living conditions, your ability to handle what comes with a service dog, which include rude people, care, access issues, etc. When looking at like your living condition, are you living with family? Will they be okay with having a service dog in the house or having a dog in the house? What other like living condition situations? Because I can't think of any others.
If you're renting, because we had to ask, we're not allowed to have dogs, but on service dog in training, so we're allowed to have him.
Yes.
But like, definitely talk to your landlord. Don't just be like, "Hey, I got a service dog."
Oh, the service dog in training thing is another thing we'll touch on the laws.
True, because different states are different here. I know
exactly. In many states, service dogs in training do not have the same rights as full service dogs.
This is very true. So, I'm lucky Missouri does, but I know a bunch of places don't.
ESAs are still allowed in non-pet friendly housing. So if your dog is a service dog in training, you can claim them as an emotional support animal in the meantime. But that is more that we'll elaborate on in the laws podcast that we will do.
If you have other pets, that's a good thing too.
Yep.
Because I know I had a friend who got a dog who was supposed to be a prospect, and then their dog didn't get along with that dog, and they had to return him to the rescue.
Oh, that sucks.
Because their little dog was like, "Ha, no."
This is my house.
Right, and like the dog started fighting because the little dog didn't like the bigger dog, and the bigger dog was like, "But what?" And so I mean, just even if it's not a dog, like I had ferrets. So if my dog, I could never get a dog that like was reactive to small animals.
Yes.
Because it would have killed my ferrets. Or like if you live in, I guess, like a neighborhood that'll only allow certain size dogs. Because I know the neighborhood behind us doesn't allow dogs over like 20 pounds.
Yeah. Service dogs are exempt to that.
Are they?
Yes.
Sorry, I should know this, but like
they're also exempt to like the breed bylaws and stuff, because you know there are cities and stuff where you can't have pit bulls or bully breeds of any kind. Sad. Yeah, which is stupid and makes no sense, but we will not get into that. But they are exempt to that, but it is something that you do need to take into consideration, because if you do want a bully breed and you live in one of those locations, you will have to fight for your right.
Oh yeah.
So like, do you have the ability to fight that? Like, if you live in one of those areas, it's probably a better idea to go with a different breed. Just because the hassle, like, it's stupid, it shouldn't be a thing, but it is, and like, you do have the right, but it's just, if you're like me and don't have the energy to fight it, just go with a different breed. Yeah,
make it easier on everybody and just don't.
So like with your situation, do you have, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with your situation, like, do you have the ability to care for a dog?
Like, that's a big one. If you can't afford food, which,
well, there's also,
we went through a period where I wasn't working, and I got help with food because I couldn't afford food, but I could when I got him. Yeah. It was kind of like, you want to have like a dog fund if you can.
Yes.
So that like, hey, I can't afford the vet this month. Well, you should have money saved aside.
Yeah. And usually they need to go to the vet when you have no money. It's just how it works. Right. Like, every single time. So you were going to say something.
Oh, I was going to, it's brief, but like, take the breed into consideration where you are living. If you have no yard,
Yes.
Don't get a giant dog. If you know that say you're getting like a Jack Russell, make sure that like you can take care of the digging because they're gonna dig.
Yeah.
Auden started digging, and I have to buy dirt to fill up his holes.
Been there, done that. Love you, Kira, but dear God.
I can't get him to stop digging. I don't know how to do it. But anyway.
I could never get Kira to stop. Like, I did everything I could think of, and she's just like, no, I'm going to dig this hole. And I'm like, can you not, though? But good thing is dirt is cheap, so...
Yeah. This is true. You can get a whole lot of it.
Yeah, it's like $5 for a massive bag. Can fill in probably that's 3 holes with one bag.
Auden digs holes he can fit his body into.
That's amazing.
Like, I've gone outside, caught him just like lounging in these holes with his arm up on the actual lawn. I'm like, what are you doing?
Look what I did.
Doing? Exactly. He was taught how to dig by another dog, and the dog doesn't even live here, and I'm so upset.
That's what happened with Kira. She didn't dig before, and then we moved into a place where there was a dog who dug, and then she started digging, and I couldn't get her to stop. It's like,
it's so horrible.
But...
Right. Yeah. This dog was here for literally a few hours, dug out of the yard, and now Auden has been digging for months. And I'm so mad.
I hate dogs, but I love them.
The pros and cons of a smart dog, they're going to learn.
Yeah.
And you'll see them learn, and you'll see them think.
They are way too smart for their own good. Like, 9 is one of those, and I'm just like, she's so easy to train. But the problem is, she learns bad things so easily. So, It's like a two-edged sword there. So, along with situation and all that, we have ability to handle what comes with a service dog. So, rude people is a major one. If you have social anxiety, which I do, and service dogs do help me with social anxiety, but you need to take into consideration if a service dog will actually make your disability worse. So if you have social anxiety, like this is the example I'm going to go with because it's like easier to talk about because it's what I deal with and what I have experience on. If you have social anxiety and you want a service dog, you really need to consider that people will come up to you. They will ask you invasive questions. They just suck. People suck. They'll be rude. Like, you'll have some friendly ones and polite ones, but you also have to remember that people are people as well, and if they see anything that's out of the ordinary, they tend to stare. I know we're all taught not to stare when we're kids. People still do it. They have no manners. Oh, yeah. So you need to really think if you will be able to handle that, and if the tasks that you have will be able to mitigate that. So, like, some tasks as well will get you stares. So, like, if your dog is trained to alert, I know 9 in particular, when she alerts, she jumps up on me. And that's what I'm reinforcing because it's what she does naturally. And it's just easy. Did you hear that?
Yeah, she was not happy.
No.
One thing that I didn't anticipate whenever I started training Auden is, like, sometimes he does cause anxiety. Like, that's the thing that you're going to have to deal with. Your dog will misbehave. Yes. Especially, like, I know that since he's still in training, I'm like, oh my God, people know that he's not finished yet. And, like, I get super self-conscious, and I've got social anxiety as well, and generalized. So that's, like, I'm scared all the time. Mm-hmm. But, like, and so if he's misbehaving, people, like, if your dog is misbehaving just because they're having an off day or because they're still in training and they're going to do that, like, Auden's still technically a puppy, so he does, like, have days. He's like, I don't want to listen. People will ask, like, is that a service dog? And which they can do. Yeah. And I've had a day, like, I was in Walmart. They know us there. They wave at us, and they're like, oh, he's doing good. But he had a new vest on that he didn't like because dogs have preferences. Mm-hmm. And he was just being stupid. And the only time ever, the lady was like, is that a service dog? And I was like, yes, he's in training. This is new gear. He's not used to it yet. But, like, they will, like, don't think, oh, I've got a dog now, I'm never going to feel anxious again. No, your dog is likely to cause anxiety at some point in time. Yep. Because they're alive.
Yeah. You have to remember that service dogs are not robots. They are living, breathing creatures. And they will have bad days just like we have bad days. Like, they're
friends who have to leave their dogs home because they're like, I'm not going to work today. So you just go out without your dog.
Exactly what I was just going to say. Like, there will be days that you might have to stay home yourself because there will be days where your dog just isn't just not having it. They might not be feeling well. They just might be having a bad day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They're living creatures.
but like since they are, living, breathing things, this stuff doesn't happen overnight. It takes. I mean, I know dogs who've been training for 2 years since they're 8 weeks old, which is about the time it takes for a lot of people. These owner trainers.
Yep.
I'm not sure about program dogs,
it depends.
but okay. So I mean, poor Nye, she's so sad.
You know what? I'm actually gonna. No, if I do that, that'll reinforce it. Never mind. We're just gonna have to listen to her yell. The joys of kennel training, everybody.
Kennel training sucks.
Yep.
Kennel training is like the worst part of training.
I know. Like, it breaks my heart because she's down there and she's crying, and I'm just like, I have to be mean and ignore you.
Yeah.
Just hush.
Push just a little pup.
Yeah. She's a puppy, but she ain't little.
Yeah. I want a big dog. Next dog is big. Next dog is mobility dog, and I'm so ready.
Get a Newfoundland.
But,
oh my god.
That's what I want. My friend wants me to have a Saint Bernard. But I'm like, but like those are just so
They
long.
tend to be very, they tend to have a lot of energy too. Like, if you want a big fluffy dog, I really recommend the Noof.
That's definitely for sure, like, that's what I want. But my friend is training it. And so I kind of, like, it's between the Noofer or a Dane, which Danes are really unhealthy, so probably not.
Yeah, I would go with the
Dane,
Noof because of health, but I've worked with a Dane, well, part Dane, and was a pleasure to work with. So Kira, actually, the one who dug the holes. Yeah, she was a Dane lab.
Whole dog.
Yeah.
Oh, Dane labs seem to be really good dogs. Like, I don't like labs, but like Dane labs seems to be. Well, why are you chewing on the bars?
Nine is also she's a Mastador, which is a Mastiff lab. So.
Oh, I like on Riley. Shut up. You will get fed when I am done. Thank you. He laid down and just looked at me like, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad.
I forget what I was talking about. Your dog's... Oh, it takes a lot of time. So, like, even just... I mean, you train it in stages. So Auden's working mostly on PA skills because I'm still learning to train tasks. So we do task training, but we're focusing on, like, he gets bored really easily because he is... I mean, cattle dogs are working dogs. They're meant to go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And he can't do that. So we're working on, you have to lay down and you can't get up and move around just because you're bored and don't want to chew on this thing I brought you. So he will blatantly ignore it. And I'm like, okay, well, you can't do that. But so, like, you have your obedience training, which I guess we'll talk about this later, so never mind. Remind me to talk about the stages of training.
Yes, we will do that in the owner training one, which is, I think, our next one. Anyway, situation. So we talked about rude people. We talked about care. Access issues fall kind of under rude people. You need to be able to handle people challenging your right to have your dog. You'll find this more often in places where they sell food. So like restaurants, Walmart, grocery stores, that type of place is where you will really have a problem. At least in my experience. Movie theaters, for some reason, like Cineplex here, I've never had a problem, but like the local theater, like the cheaper one where, after movies have been out in theaters for a while, they go to the cheaper theater.
Yeah.
So that one is where I've had issues, and I'm just like, go away. But like, you need to be prepared for that. Like me, having the dog with me and understanding my rights. Man, we keep touching on the laws. Like, we will have a podcast on this, I promise. But, like, understanding your rights and being confident in them. Basically, to make my long point short, you do need to be comfortable in standing up for yourself. Or at least have someone with you who can. Like, I know that's the same thing as, like, people say, like, oh, why don't you just have a person come with you all the time? It's like... Independence, man. Independence. When you're first starting out, it's really good to have someone with you who can stand up for you, and then you can kind of lead by their example. And that's how I did it. Because at first I was like very meek, and I was like, I would just leave. Now I'm like, I'm not going anywhere. Call the cops if you want. I have a right to be here. So.
Right. I know a lot of handlers, or maybe not even a lot, enough, have like business cards for their dogs. Like Auden has some, and I don't know where they are, but it basically is like, hello, my name is Auden, I'm a service dog, if you have questions, ask my handler. Yes, I do have tasks, and I'm like required. I have like access required by law.
Yeah.
Some people, I had an ADA card that basically summarized the ADA and it hung from his vest, so I could just be like, "Here, we're allowed to be here," but it broke.
Oh.
So I no longer have this. But you can carry something. I know people have like emails for their dogs, which I should have done. So like people can email them questions if they have any questions about service dogs.
I really like that idea. That's a good idea.
Yeah, I forgot to do that when I made his cards, and now I'm like, I really want that. So I'll have to get all new cards. But
I mean,
like,
business cards are fairly cheap, but it's
this
like
is
what,
true. I got,
$10 for like
100
500 of them from Vistaprint.
Yeah, Vistaprint is awesome, and it looks super nice, and I got them on sale.
We have hit our time.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that's it for this episode of Keep Six. Thank you so much for joining us, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.